This is Carl the Cobra Frutch, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. Delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we're here today for Johnny Fisher's public workout. I've got to ask you, how far can this kid go in boxing?
I mean, I think he has the ability, I think he has the assets, but more importantly, he has the mindset and the work ethic to achieve a lot in the sport. Now, is that British title? Is that European title? Is that world title? All of a sudden, we're in a crunch fight with a young man called Harry Armstrong, who's 6'6", who's fighting at the O2, who's coming to win, and it's over 10 rounds. So this is the first dangerous moment of his career. We know and we talk about the popularity, and we see it even down here today for a Southern area title media workout. But at the same time, now it gets real and it gets serious, but it's exciting.
Comparing to the likes of the David Adelaide's, the Nathan Gormans, would you say he's a better fighter than them right now?
Actually, I don't think that he really gets the credit as an undefeated 7-8-0 heavyweight who's knocking everybody out that maybe someone else would, because people think that it's a bit of a gimmick with Johnny. This crowd, he's only there because he's a ticket seller. No, he's there because he's a really good heavyweight, but very raw. No real amateur pedigree, but a lot of assets that are important in a heavyweight landscape. Good engine, fit, can punch, great chin, good hand speed. Do you know what I mean? If you've got those assets, you can go to a certain level anyway. But, I feel that he should be talked about more for his prospects in the sport rather than just being a ticket seller.
Huge main event, must-win fight for both Anthony Joshua and Dillian Whyte, 8 years on from the first fight. What's going to be different about the second fight?
I think they're both more mature. I think they're both better fighters. They're both more rounded fighters. And I think there's more on the line. Back then it was a British title fight. No one knew where anyone would go. It was important for both guys. But now it's kind of like careers on the line. AJ wants to get another shot at the world heavyweight title. Dillian Whyte wants to disrupt the party against Deontay Wilder and, try and make sure that he can get that fight instead. There's a lot of pride on the line. But I just think it's going to be a better heavyweight fight. The first fight was really entertaining because I think it was just a wild scrap. And you'll see elements of that in this fight. But I think you'll see better fighters, better plans and better strategies played out in this fight.
We've seen, this is Joshua's second fight under Derek James. We've seen him try to be a bit more of a boxer, but a lot of people are saying they want to see him become a powerhouse again. The reason behind his success, which is what got him to 2 world titles. How would you like to see Joshua set up stylistically for this fight?
I'd like to always see a fighter as aggressive as possible, but at the same time, he's smart now. And when you talk to him, he's very, he's very sensible when he says, the reason that I used to go in there with my chin in the air when I hurt someone and just try and get them out of there was because I never knew how many rounds I could do. I didn't actually know what I was doing. He goes, now I can defend, I can go rounds, I can break someone down, I can do all these things. So I think it's just sensible. I know we want to see someone go in there and trade with their chin in the air, but he doesn't have to do it, and there's too much on the line. So I think he's progressed as a fighter, and I think he'll show that what he's been working on with Derek James on August 12th.
Daniel Dubois has a chance to disrupt the heavyweight division. Can he beat Oleksandr Usyk?
I mean, anything's possible in a heavyweight division. He's got a lot of the attributes that AJ's got. He's big, he's strong, he can punch hard. But the amount of people that after the first fight said, AJ just needs to stick it on him. It don't work like that against Oleksandr Usyk. I think the biggest danger for Daniel Dubois is the mental aspect. I mean, he got outboxed and beaten up by Joe Joyce. And you're talking about a completely different level right here. You're talking about the mind games of Usyk, the footwork of Usyk, the experience in Poland. This is a lot for Daniel Dubois to overcome. Someone that you wouldn't necessarily say is maybe mentally the strongest, we don't know, but that's a big challenge in the fight. I don't see him winning many rounds, if any rounds, in a fight. But what he can do is punch very hard, but he's got to find a way to make it count. So I always give a fighter like that a chance in a fight, but you'd have to say Usyk was a massive favourite.
You can't mention the heavyweight division without mentioning the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Tyson Fury, whose next fight, exhibition, whatever it is against Francis Ngannou. Since he's been world champion, he's beaten Deontay Wilder, Dillian Whyte, Derek Chisora. Do you think he's been managed right? Yes, he's made a lot of money, he's featured in WWE, but if he was with you, would you have done things differently with Tyson Fury?
At the end of the day, he's going to want to do what he wants to do. What he hasn't done, in my opinion, is create a legacy that he could have, given his ability. A lot of people think I criticise Fury a lot. I actually rate him unbelievably, and I think he would be the favourite against Oleksandr Usyk. But to be a great, like the reality is, you just said about his heavyweight run as world champion. That's his defences. You can't start talking about him in the same breath as great undisputed champions or legends of the past without beating Usyk, without fighting AJ, without going through every top fighter of that era. So, but I get it, you know, it's a money game. He's making a lot of money to fight a bloke that's never boxed before, but he should be fighting Oleksandr Usyk for a lot more money, but he also understands how tough that fight is. He's not stupid. He knows boxing. But, you know, I feel like he could have the chance to go down as a true great, and hopefully that's important to him.
One fight, let you go, Eddie. There's a huge fight in Las Vegas this weekend for all the marbles in the 147 division. Errol Spence Jr versus Terence Crawford. Eddie, who is leaving Vegas with all the belts? Who wins and how?
I feel like Terence Crawford wins the fight. I think that, you know, two unbelievable fighters. I mean, obviously Errol is in camp with AJ. Apparently he's looking unbelievable. I just feel like Errol's been making 147 for a long time. I think he's got a little bit more wear and tear, whether that's the car crash, whether that's the retina tear, whether that's a few tougher fights. I think if the fight is boxed at a fast pace, I think Terence Crawford could stop him, if not on points. But in a very close fight, I pick Terence Crawford.
Top man. Eddie Hearn, a pleasure as always. Thank you.